It's definitely a target, like I say, for us. This year it's all about finding our feet for us in Super League. We want to compete. The coaches from Wakefield and Bradford have said they were shocked at like how much we can compete. So it's given us a really good focus and something that we're just going to continue aiming for all season. We know it's going to be really hard. We know it's going to be tough in defence. We know that bodies aren't going to recover the same as what we previously have. But yeah, we're really focused on the task.
Well, Mairead, a big thank you for joining us. And before we get to the Barrow match this weekend, let's have a bit of a catch-up, really. Leigh Miners Rangers new to Super League this season in Group 2. Obviously, we had the Challenge Cup to kick things off, but here we are now with the league campaign. Good start, a good win over Wakefield, but a defeat last week in a close-run game up at Bradford. So how's the start to the season been?
Yeah, we started off really well. We had Wakefield at home the other week, and that was brilliant. We started all guns blazing, and our defence was really good. At Bradford, we've reviewed it at training this week, and we said that we didn't perform our best. Our defence was quite poor, really lazy in some spots, and I think that's due to the challenge that is in Super League now. I think some of the stuff we're identifying just in them 2 games we've had, we got away with in Championship because you can afford to be a lot slower, a lot lazier. So it's a big step for us, but we're loving it, we're enjoying it, and we're looking forward to Barrow away this week.
And talking about that step up, let's just touch upon last season back in the Championship, because weirdly, you played Barrow in the final of that, didn't you? You both first and second at the end of the season as well. But it was such a phenomenal campaign, wasn't it?
It was a massive season for us last year. I've always played at Miners, and it's emotional to think of how much we had achieved. Like, we'd started the second team, and then to perform so well in such was a tight competition. It turned out every game was tough, and we had to work hard every single week. So credit to all clubs in the Championship League. That game in the final was probably the toughest I've been in for a long, long time. I think it means a lot to us in Barrow, and we've got quite a good relationship with Barrow. So it was always going to be that tight game. So yeah.
And you were player of the match in the game, I believe, as well. So
I was, yeah.
So I mean, what's that step up like? You've touched upon it already about, you know, what potentially you can get away with in Championship, but what's that step up like? Because you've obviously played in the Challenge Cup this season as well against Group 1 teams in Leeds and Huddersfield.
Yeah.
So what's that step up like?
That step up is something that we really strive towards. We want to be up there at some point. It's more the physicality that gets us, I think. I think it's a big step up, the speed of the game, obviously making sure we're back on side every time, making sure we've got 3-4 girls in a tackle every time, trying to control the floor, where sometimes I think you could get away with that. You could have one girl that comes in, puts a big shot on, and you think, right, that's done now. But now you don't have any of them one big shots. It's like you need to get 3 in, and you need to push back every single time.
So in this step up, like we've already touched upon, you've played the Leeds Rhinos, you've played Bradford at Odsal. It's quite good though, isn't it, really?
It's massive to think that obviously that's where the game's going, and to play at some of these places is brilliant, and it's amazing. We've got a really big girls section, so for them to look up and think, well, yeah, I can play at Odsal, and yeah, I can play against Leeds Rhinos, it's massive for them, and it gives them a focus as well, which is brilliant. I think that's where the game's heading.
Let's talk about the wider club, because this season we should mention it's not just the first team basically is playing in Super League, but there's a community side as well playing in an expanded League too. So I mean, that's brilliant, isn't it? And a great achievement for the club.
Yeah, it's massive. We tried to get it up and going last season, but numbers just dip a little with short injuries, and then you get a little bit. So we couldn't really perform we couldn't run them out as much as we wanted to. But this year we knew it was our focus as well as a Super League team. We really wanted to push that. There's a few girls coming up from the under-16s team that we didn't want to lose. We really wanted to put the effort into them, and they're doing brilliant at the minute. It's fantastic. We've got some of the girls that are coming up from under-16s, and then we've got some of the mums that just want to start going. So at like 40, I think someone wants to start playing, which is brilliant. And they've got one girl that's 50 in a couple of years, and she's dying to like make this career progression to the Super League team. So it's brilliant. It's amazing.
And that's what we're talking about, isn't it? I mean, you've already touched upon it. It's like a kind of target now where you can play against Leeds, you can play against Huddersfield, you can play against Bradford. It's there, isn't it? And that's so positive and great what Leigh are doing there.
Yeah, it's definitely a target, like I say, for us. This year it's all about finding our feet for us in Super League. We want to compete. The coaches from Wakefield and Bradford have said they were shocked at like how much we can compete. So it's given us a really good focus and something that we're just going to continue aiming for all season. We know it's going to be really hard. We know it's going to be tough in defence. We know that bodies aren't going to recover the same than what we previously have. But yeah, we're really focused on the task.
And we should just mention, I mean, it's not just yourselves, but I've spoken to Alton Raiders, Dewsbury Moor during the Challenge Cup run, and it's phenomenal what the community clubs are doing, because it's obviously, you're there, the benchmark played is Super League, but there's all kinds of community clubs growing the women's game, and that's superb as well, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's the backbone, I like to say. So like Alton, they do a brilliant job, and I think they'll absolutely rip it up in Championship this year. They've got some really good girls that have come in through the girls section, and I'd love it for Alton to be another Super League team in years to come and get us community teams on the map.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this weekend then. Barrow Raiders away. Tough game, but it's two teams that know each other very, very well. So what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it'll be a really tough game. I think we've both got kind of something to prove and why we're in Super League. Obviously, we both fought really hard last season to get where we are. We know that Barrow will come out all guns blazing, and Amanda's been working really hard. We know they've been training really hard. So yeah, we've just got to stick to the basics, and the basics win the game eventually for you. So we've just got to do that and stay really composed.
And final question, Mairead, just about how much you're looking forward to the remainder of the season. Seems mad because we've not played that many matches in the Super League, have we? But because of the Challenge Cup, we've played loads of games, and we're already in June. So, I mean, how much are you looking forward to the remainder of the season?
For the season, yeah, it seems really strange to think we've just come into June and we're properly 2 matches into the season, which normally would be halfway through. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I know all the girls are as well. Like I've been saying, it's a really big opportunity for us, and we just really want to get stuck into it and see where we can go with it. We've got some targets, we've got goals, and I'm sure that myself and the girls and the coaches will do everything we can to achieve them.